Shalom, shalom, and the start forward by giving no praise to Yahweh, Hashem, El Shah, Hashem, Kodash, that will learn this apostle, great millstone, and honest two brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yeah, man, this man Esau's got to go, man. This man's got to go. This is just a clip that I'd watched from this guy, because you have this a leak that's happening over there at the moment in Ohio. And also then you also had the whole thing with Nord Stream and all of these different things where this man is just pumping tons of chemicals all up into the air. Right, but one of the things that is people are starting to point out though is Ohio is quite a fertile part of the country, right, of America. Yet this is basically poisoned the the surrounding areas. You got animal life dying, plant life dying, fish dying. So it could have been an attack. We don't know, but we can't put it past this devil. So let me play this real quick. It's 3 minutes. I've got 2 precepts, and we'll close it out. So yeah.
This hasn't been getting a lot of coverage, and the coverage that it has been getting hasn't been very good. So let's talk about the trail derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. East Palestine's about an hour north of Pittsburgh, almost halfway to Cleveland. Norfolk Southern has a rail line that goes right through town, and this derailment happened right on the edge outside of town on the border of PA and Ohio. Of the cars that crashed, 5 of them contained vinyl chloride. It's a monomer used to make PVC. The reporting on this has gotten vinyl chloride confused with polyvinyl chloride, the polymer made out of vinyl chloride. Now, the reason that this distinction is really important is vinyl chloride is very hazardous and very flammable. Polyvinyl chloride is a plastic that's used in like everything. Another thing about vinyl chloride is that it boils at 8 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's shipped in its liquid form, meaning that when these trains crashed and these started leaking, they weren't just leaking liquid, but they were spewing boiling gas. So vinyl chloride is really toxic. OSHA has the permissible limit of how much you can be exposed to it during an 8-hour shift as a 1 ppm part per million. Average over 8 hours. So prior to this, the biggest spill of this chemical was in New Jersey, where 1 train car and about 23,000 gallons of vinyl chloride were spilled, but it didn't catch on fire. Now, this crash in Ohio has 5 train cars. These kinds of tanker cars can carry between 25 and 33,000 gallons. Let's call it 250 to 250,000 pounds of vinyl chloride. That's per train car, 5 train cars. There's maybe 1 million pounds of this toxic chemical spilling into the ground and also boiling off into the air. But then it caught on fire. I think this is where the reporting is really bad because no one is mentioning what the byproduct of vinyl chloride burning is. Of the many byproducts of burning vinyl chloride, one of them is hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride is really unstable and latches onto water, like just water vapor in the atmosphere, and that turns into hydrochloric acid. So right now, government...
Yeah, because even I saw like pictures of people who have been driving nearby, right, and their cars were just all messed up. Their cars have been messed up because this was landing on the vehicles and stuff like that. It was through.
Officials from the railroad, both the governor of Pennsylvania and Ohio are calling burning off the 1 million pounds of this stuff a success, but not mentioning that it means that we have hundreds of thousands of pounds of acid in the air, potentially. Now, ever since engineering school, I've studied a lot of industrial accidents. I just find it really fascinating.
Yeah, and there's what he's about to say. There's a documentary on Netflix, which once again shows you just how this man lies. This man's not honest, right? You read Psalms 58:3, it says the wickedness is strained from the womb, right? When you read this one was 8 Mile Island. I think it was actually just called 8 Mile Island on Netflix, and it kind of goes into the explosion that had there with the nuclear facility, and the same thing where basically they were just getting information from the company, and the company just kind of saying whatever, downplaying it, this, that, and the other. Oh, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. And then now people trying to be like, I got cancer from that leak. And then what's the company and the government doing? Whatever. Right, because these man, if it makes them a profit, they don't care.
And organizations like the Chemical Safety Board, NTSB, and OSHA all have like really good reports available to the public. I think as a designer, it's really good to learn about mistakes. When looking at these kinds of industrial disasters across time, there are a couple things that are pretty universal across all of them. One, the responsible party, in this case Norfolk Southern Railway, always plays down the reality of the situation. Politicians also just repeat the same lines, and then news outlets just repeat the same. So all we are hearing is the responsible party's word.
Right. So, hopefully I don't get a strike because I realized I think it was Chopin in the background or something like that. But yeah, man, this man's just out here just completely ruining the environment, ruining the planet. Right? And what does the scriptures have to say about this? Revelation 11:18 says the nations were angry and that wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth. Right? And that's it. This man is just out here destroying the earth, man. And the earth is the Lord's creation. It says, heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. Right? The Lord loves the earth, yet this man is just out here just destroying it, man. Right? And the Lord sees that and he's angry. Because it's his creation. And the last one says Isaiah 24:5, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, right? Changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. So this earth is defiled, and Esau's defiled it, right? I'll just grab this. It was precept. It's Psalms 82:5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundation of the earth are out of course. Right? And ever since this man's been in rulership, everything's been getting out of course. Right? Everything's just been getting all messed up, man. Right? Which is why the Lord is going to take him out of power, right, and set up over the rulership of the kingdom, or rulership of the earth, one that is profitable, right, which is the children of Israel. So as always, laws with us edifying, like I said, just a quick one. Yeah, and this man's got to go. He's got to go. Right? Shalom.